Okay, so I want to talk about a movie, and the movie is called Grease. And it was released in, I think, 1977 or maybe 76. Uh, and But the setting of the movie was in the 50s. It was in the 1950s. So it was kind of nostalgic look at the 1950s. And it was a musical. If you haven't seen that movie, you should watch it. Warning, that movie was, uh, hang on a second. I have to go research something. Okay, so it's surprising uh, that the rating for this movie was PG. PG. And that meant that, kids could go watch it, but it was recommended that the parents, kind of advise their kids if they have any questions. Back in that day, most big movies, popular movies, were PG. They wanted them to be PG because if they were rated R, then uh, teenagers couldn't go see it. There was a rule, it had to be like 17, I think. Well, anyway, so they tried to get PG, and it got PG for this movie Grease, and I love the movie, but that entire movie is about sex. It really is. And but the thing of it is why it could be rated PG and still be constantly talking about sex is they always used innuendo, and everything was in the subtext, and they used uh, words that have double meanings, and they could convey the idea without actually mentioning it, right? It was never actually mentioned. It was all with innuendo. Pretty cool how they did it. Well, this song that I'm going to talk about is called Summer Nights. And it's about a young teenage couple, high school students, both of them. They met in America on the beach somewhere. And one girl was from Australia and the guy was from the U.S. And what happened was uh, they had a romance, but it was fairly innocent. They made sand castles and they talked to each other. They held hands and looked out over the beach, and had a nice time, right? There was nothing sexual about it, right? It was pretty normal, I mean, it was like they kissed a couple of times, right? And the girl was pretty conservative, you know, but not really. I mean, it was just pretty normal. They just had a few dates, right? So uh, then as it happened, she had to go back to Australia. Well, this guy went back to his high school, and as it happened, the girl, her plans to go back to Australia was canceled, and so she was staying in Rydell, right, um, which was the fictional town in America, and so this guy was a kind of a tough. He had a tough image, and he always had to be cool all the time. Cool, I'm cool, and he always tried to show himself to be a playboy. But in reality, it was all sort of a fiction, like an image. And guys do that. Guys do that. They play themselves, especially young and teenagers. They try to play themselves off to be more experienced in sex, and dating and stuff than they really are, you know. And so um, it's sort of this thing among men that they want to brag about how many women that they've slept with, right? And so he went back to his high school, which was a sort of semi. Uh, it wasn't some little private school, that was in on the countryside, right? It wasn't some rich little private school. It was a public school, and so he had this kind of tough playboy image that he had to keep up. And as it happened, she went to his high school. It was a it was a good opportunity for them to get back together. But anyway, but before they realized that she was going to his high school, they had the opportunity to tell their friends about their summer vacation. And you're going to notice that this same thing actually happened. They kissed a couple of times, and it was real romantic and nice, right? But the way that they tell the story is very different. And that's the whole idea of the whole song. And that's what makes it so amusing. You've got to uh, watch this uh, video and pay attention to the lyrics because it's really funny and very cool. All right, so let's go check it out. Uh, okay, so it was rated PG, which is a very mild rating. It means that most people can watch it. Okay, so let's get this out of the way. And this is kind of what their actual meeting was like. Just real romantic, like that, But when they tell the story, they tell it very differently. So, the lyrics go, her friends are saying, tell me more, tell me more. Was it love at first sight? And tell me more. Did she put up a fight? Well, it's a kind of, did she resist, right? When you were trying to basically have sex with her, right? But it was very innocent, but he has to keep up this image, right? So they're saying, tell me more, and they're looking for some kind of sexual details, and the girls are looking for more sort of like, was it romantic? Did he pay for everything? Does he have a car? Like that. Um, so watch this uh, innuendo here, okay? So Sandy's telling the truth. The girl is telling the truth. He got friendly holding my hand, right? And then she got friendly down in the sand. Well, that doesn't mean anything, right? It doesn't mean they have sex, but he implies it with innuendo. Okay? So it's like getting friendly was what actually probably happened, just holding her hand, And he tries to change what the meaning of what actually happened. She got friendly down in the sand. That, because he's trying to create a false image of what really happened. He was sweet, just turned 18. Well, she was good. You know what I mean. So he's implying that it's something about sex, right? But really, the only thing he said was she was good because she was a nice girl, right? So he doesn't really want to tell an outright lie. Let's try to get through this without. Oh, this is not it. Okay. Okay, here we go. So she's telling more, a little bit more true version of it. See, he's trying to make it look more. He's trying to make it look more sexual than it really was. She got friendly down in the sand because he thinks that that's what's going to impress these guys. They do that all the time when they're trying to imply something. You know what I mean? She was good. So he's not really telling a lie, is he? Okay. So, full of innuendo. I totally recommend it. Okay, so that's the end of this series. Okay. I just, when I was researching this, I found lots of good examples, so I made it a long series. Okay. So, okay, that's finished with this series, and I'll move on to the next topic. Okay, see ya.